welcome to the fallen tree. And this is my journey of how I built my beautiful pond. It all started on December 7th, 2016, and I was fascinated with the way the beaver would build these beautiful ponds, and they could hold water. I thought, how hard could it be? So that's where my journey started. I started with a ravine and figured if I added a little bit of sticks and a few leaves, I'd do the same thing. Well, it wasn't long that I realized it wasn't going to work that way. I had to put in some hard work and dedication if anything was going to happen, and it wasn't going to happen fast. I started out with just a wheelbarrow and a shovel. And you can see, I started all thinking these sticks would help me out. And they did, to a certain extent. Quickly, my pond was like 4 foot deep. But I couldn't get any work done with it being that deep, so I had to pump it out. Using just pipes, I made a pump of sorts, just out of pipes, filling it with water, capping the end, and then letting suction take it out, which let me get my pond low enough to continue working. There was a lot of tree clearing along the way. Kids came out and helped every now and then. It was just a fun process, for me anyways. It turned into a lot of tractor work. I had an old Cub Cadet 32 horse tractor with a front end loader, which I would scrape the ground, bring over the dirt, and pile it up on the dam. But it wasn't long before I realized I needed a backhoe. So in November 2019, 3 years into my journey, I decided it was time to upgrade. And man, did it help. By May 2021, 4.5 years into my journey, I had life in my pond. And I decided to get serious. It was time to get this thing going. I got it up to the point where I get my overflows, and slowly I kept building. I kept my overflows on the pond side low so it would keep the water low, and I just kept building the dam. If any of you have watched my cabin series, Just for Fun, Off-Grid Man Cave, where I build a beautiful cabin on this site, or if you haven't, click subscribe and check it out. You'll see, I take my time and everything's a process. So here we are by September. The dam's getting built up. It's almost time for water. I added my pipe to extend up. Some of the stumps I left in the bottom for fish habitat. That big one over there, I just couldn't get it, no matter how hard I tried. But it serves as a great point to anchor my dock. It's not taking long for the water to rise. One good rain, this thing's going to be filled. So here we are, October 2021. The pond's full. Water's coming out the other side again. Now at this point, the pond's about 16 foot deep at the base of the dam. And I couldn't be happier. I was like a kid in a candy store. Had water. Wildlife started to come. I had a blue heron hanging back by the pond. Had to chase him off. Don't want him getting my fish that I'm putting in at this point. Then it happened. All that work. Overnight, I come out and my pond dropped 3 foot. I couldn't believe it. I thought I'd done everything right. It had been holding water. Then all of a sudden, it sprung a leak. Well, at this point, I panicked, and I had to find a solution for this. And the solution ended up being digging more out of the bank over by the cabin and throwing it in once I found out where the leak was. It happened to be just in front of the cabin. This plugged up the dam, and it's been full ever since. But it was kind of bittersweet. If not for that, I wouldn't have had where I built the spiral staircase in the cabin, because that's where I took all the dirt to extend it. And they gave me that little extra spot. Now the wildlife are thriving back there. I think they're enjoying it as much as I am. At this point, the pond's almost overfilling. I'm going to have to add a little bit more to the dam just to give myself a bunker for a heavy rain like this one. Which brings us to the day after Christmas in 2021. My son got an RC boat from Santa Claus that year and couldn't wait to go out and use it. The smile on his face was worth the 5 years it took me to build this pond. But who am I kidding? I enjoyed every minute of it. Just going out, sitting in nature, doing a little bit of digging here and there. I'd have the deer walk up on me. I was out there so much. As I'm digging on my tractor, the deer would walk up 40 foot from me and just watch me, curious of what I was doing. So, February 2022, the pond's finally froze over. You can see where the animals have been crossing it. I've done it. I took a ravine and built a dam. So by April, it was time to get the dock finished. Boy, let me tell you, that was quite an experience. Again, didn't know what I was doing, but I was going to do something.
You're making it loosen up. I have to pull this.
Thought I'd take these
rope. Oh my god.
Empty barrels and make a dock. It wasn't very stable. My son, he got a kick out of it.
Look at him, he's shivering in his timbers right now. To hold this rope.
Make it, Brayden.
Look at that face. He's so concentrated.
It's not funny. Stop laughing at me.
When the sky meets the sea, it calls me. No one knows how far it goes. The eye meets the ski, it calls me. If Moana's on drugs, the one eye goes. How far it goes.
Are you singing?
No.
You're dancing.
I don't know.
Singing and dancing. That's cute.
No, it's not. By the way, did you use those posts from the old steps?
Yeah.
That's weak. That's very weak.
You're weak.
Hey, that's not nice. We do not tolerate that kind of language in this house, young man.
I'm sorry. So as you can see, it wasn't just my experience, but it gave me a chance to bond with my son and build something that we'd be able to use for years to come.
Okay.
And that's one part of this journey that I'll be able to cherish forever and look back and laugh at our memories.
Go ahead, get off.
Okay.
So here we are, April 2022. The pond's full, the deck's up, moving into May. We're getting a heavy rain, but the pond's holding, everything's draining. Some of you may ask what I used for the drainage, and it was just 6-inch sewage pipe that I made in 90 and extended it up to only allow it to get that high.
I'll take it down.
And there's some days it uses every bit of it. But I did end up building up the dam just a little bit higher so it wouldn't go over the top. And by June 2022, I had fish spawning on their own. It's going to bring a great meeting place for both family and friends. In the 5 years it took, it was a great experience bonding with nature out here in the woods. And it's going to be worth every precious memory it makes for years to come. And this is what the pond finally looked like at the end of that journey, but the beginning of another. As we build the cabin with all the wood off of our property, cut and milled. And here we are today, partway through that journey, but an adventure all its own. So if you haven't yet done it, subscribe, join the journey at Fallen Tree 124. And thank you as always. I appreciate all your views, your likes, your shares, and your comments. Until next time, my friends.